And I guess let's get this show on the road. So 3, 2, 1, go. I'm hoping they were ready on time.
Oh, I was ready, don't worry, so I was good.
Okay, perfect. They started time. Anyway, so this is the Breath of the Wild run where we go and free all of the divine beasts and then head off and kill
Ganon. It should take just over 2 hours. For anyone out there, if there's anyone that hasn't really played Breath of the Wild, this game's a little bit different than all the other Zelda games before it. We can go to the dungeons in any order we want, and we get all the tools we need to complete the dungeon right on plateau, and then we can just go off and do what we need to from there. Actually, the run kind of starts before we even start the game, where we kill ourselves in this shrine and then start a new file, and it actually saves 4 seconds on loading the shrine. It's kind of gets annoying to do resets of the game because of that, but you get used to it.
Yep, we're running on the Nintendo Switch version because me and Spades like the Switch version, but the Wii U version has faster loading overall and saves around 2 minutes on this run.
You're going to see me doing the first glitch in the game coming up right here, which is whistle sprinting, and it allows you to run at essentially full speed while keeping your stamina, so you can continually run the entire time for when we need to be running. The beginning here, Zelda speaks pretty loud, so I'm going to try not to talk over her, because then I'll just be yelling at you guys. I'll mash as hard as I can.
You might notice that we're using German version. German version has the fastest voice in the game for those 2 cutscenes you see there.
Yeah, the German version saves around 15 seconds overall, or at least 15 seconds on plateau, and probably another 10 seconds throughout the rest of the run. That saves that much time on top of English. So here on Plateau, there's 4 shrines that we have to complete before we can get off Plateau and go explore the rest of the world. That's the Bomb Shrine, Magnet Shrine, Stasis Shrine, and Cryonis Shrine. And the fastest order, at least the fastest order for all dungeons, is to start with Magnet, then go Bomb, then Cryosis, and then Stasis at the end. So that's the order we'll be going through them. This is an amiibo run, so we're going to see lots of stasis launching coming up once we get off Plateau. There's no point to do stasis launching for the most part before you get the glider, because the whole point of stasis launching is flying through the air with your glider, and you don't get the glider until the end of Plateau. So we won't get to abuse amiibos until we get off Plateau.
We pick up this 2-hand axe right here because that's what we're going to do to damage all the stasis objects.
Right here, we're gonna steal the shield from the moblin up here, and this is the little shield that could. It just gets us through all the shield surfing that we do, riding the sand seals as long as it lives. We get to do shield jumps with it. The next glitch that we're going to see is actually right after this cutscene. I'm going to do something that's called a fall damage cancel. It allows you to fall from any height without taking any damage. And for most of the game, that's completely useless because you have the glider, and you can just pull up the glider, and that way you take no damage. But since we don't have the glider yet, I'm going to do this glitch where I start throwing my weapon and then switch it off right before I hit the ground. And it allows me to take no damage and get off the tower really quickly. Sorry if my button mashing is a little obnoxious. It's in German because the voice actors for Zelda speaks the quickest in German. So here's this fall damage cancel. Switch off my weapon right before hitting the ground there. Now we're back at full speed mashing for you guys. The run really speeds up at about 7 minutes in. There I actually choose the second dialogue option instead of the default one, so you have to press down really quick and then press A or just spam B. It's a little bit quicker than just going with the default option, about half a second. Thanks for the good luck, guys. Once we're off plateau and riding our opponent around and riding boxes through the air, we won't be needing whistle sprinting that much, so a little bit less mashing. Doing plateau resets really makes your finger a little sore though. So this first shrine here we're going to is the Magnet Shrine. The Magnet ability lets us pick up magnetic objects and move them around. As obvious as that sounds. The next kind of trick we're going to see here in this, we'll see in this shrine is actually a shield jump, which lets me kind of do a double jump in the air by pulling out my shield to do a shield surf while I'm in the middle of a jump. It lets me cross over some short gaps. You're going to see me switch off my shield so that my shield doesn't take damage. Like I was saying, this is the little shield that could. We're going to do as much with this shield as we can. So I'm going to save this durability as much as I can. But the fact that I de-equip the shield while doing the jump actually puts Link into a glitched state. And the glitched state makes it so that Link won't take knockback damage, or he won't go flying from knockback. And that's actually quite important. It was kind of a mystery in the beginning of the game why sometimes we couldn't do stasis launches. Didn't really know why. It turns out it's caused by our shield jumps, and I'll talk about how I clear that state when we get there at the end of plateau.
You saw the Spades, the door on the Meadow went super high up right away. If you flick the controller with gyro, the metal objects will flick and like skyrocket upwards.
There's only one more big dialogue section with the king right after this shrine. Then we're pretty much away from him until we get the glider.
At the end of each shrine in plateau, you get 4 spirit orbs in total. You can use them to get extra HP or stamina, but we're not going to because it's not faster to get stamina or HP in this run.
Yeah, it takes around 30 seconds to actually go and pick up the stamina upgrade, and it doesn't pay for itself. Even though you get a little bit more out of your sprinting and a little bit more out of climbing, a little bit of more slow time with your bow. It still doesn't save the time that it takes to get it, so we just skip all the upgrades. So next we're going to head off to the bomb shrine, and there's not really too much interesting that goes on into the bomb shrine, but on the way there you're going to see me do a shield surf down a slope, like down some grass, and it does save a little bit of time, but it's scary on my shield durability, so if it goes really bad, my shield could potentially break by the end of plateau. It's very rare that it'll happen, but I'm going to take the risk for the 2-second time save that the shield surf gives me. I'm picking up all these arrows that I run by because I actually use the arrows for a few things, like this run mostly for stasis launches, but also for shooting like the flight range target practice thing, and the little corruption eyeballs that you see during the dungeons. Here's this shield surf I was talking about. That didn't look like it did too much damage to my shield, so we should be good.
Neat little shield jump right there, saves like a second.
If I spam quick enough, you won't see the little loading icon appear on when I skip the cutscene coming up here in the bottom left corner. Oh, we got it. You're going to see me place a bomb kind of in the corner right in front of where Link is right now, and then I'm going to jump down, and the bomb is going to break the block in front of me, but it won't damage Link. That's because the bomb checks for line of sight when it checks like if it's going to hit Link, but it doesn't check for line of sight when it explodes objects. It looks kind of funny. Here we can just throw a bomb and blow it up and skip the little puzzle here. Actually, the first time you pull out the Sheikah Stein when you're on plateau, it plays a little cinematic, but there's a few ways we can go about skipping that little cinematic. So what I'm going to do is pause the game before opening the map screen, and it'll skip a little animation where Link gets surprised by the fact that he's holding the Sheikah Slate. You probably won't be able to see the start screen come up before the map because it happens fairly quickly. But I'm gonna open the inventory before the map really quick. Teleporting back to the Shrine of Resurrection just because it's quicker to run from there to the Stasis Shrine than to just run across all of Plateau. Or the Cryonis Shrine, I mean, sorry. The healing is actually pretty intense in this route since I'm going to be doing quite a few stasis launches and those do around 3 hearts of damage each. So I need to make sure I don't kill Link or run out of healing items, or else I won't be able to do any more stasis launches. And I've got a pretty precise healing route. I can miss around 2 stasis launches and still be able to make it to the end of the run.
On snow and sand, your shield won't take durability damage. And on snow especially, it's really fast to shield surf. That's why he shield surfs here.
Oh, got stuck on that little leg there. Oh, I might die. Oh. I just jumped at a bad angle there. Rip Link.
Rip.
So I was trying to make it onto that bridge there. I jumped a little bit too far to the left and just didn't quite make it.
Deaths in this game can be pretty costly. The autosave feature in this game is not very kind. So you can autosave very far away.
And the loading screens as well are very, very terrible in this game. That's actually one of the worst possible deaths you can have on Plateau. Pretty upset about that. But we'll pull through. We get to do some more sick shield surfing here, so it's all worth it. Not quite as sick as I wanted, apparently.
When you're shield surfing, you never want to go uphill, so you want to try to jump before you go up hills.
By using whistle sprinting, I'm actually able to climb up much steeper slopes than you'd normally be able to. It allows me to quickly get up this cliff here. So I'm barely going to be able to get a 1 heal here. Do I risk it? No, we're good. We're good.
You got this.
There's a neat little trick to skip one of the puzzles in this upcoming shrine, where I place an ice block and then shield surf on that ice block and jump off of it, and you can get just enough height to make it onto an upper ledge and skip walking all the way around and doing some little puzzle.
This is all the Kratos' rune does, just spawn on a block of ice.
Yeah, this is the least useful rune in the game. So here's this trick I'm going to go for. I'm just going to try and place this block, then shield surf on it, jump off, and didn't quite make it up there. Oops. Luckily that guy only does quarter heart damage, so even if he shoots me, I'm still perfectly fine. We're nearing the end of Plateau here. Just one more shrine to do, the Stasis Shrine. And the Stasis Shrine is the most useful shrine, or the most useful rune in the game. The Stasis Rune is the most useful rune in the game. What it does is you freeze an object in place when you stasis it, and you can hit it a bunch of times, and it stores its momentum. And then once the stasis runs out, the object goes flying in whatever direction you're hitting it in. And we're going to be using that to fly through the air. Okay, my shield's getting pretty damaged here.
There's a cold resist chest you can get around here, but it turns out it's faster to just heal through the code or to cook cold resist food, because we're going to need cold resist food in one of the dungeons.
Okay, my shield is good. It has put up with the most important part of its duty. One more fall damage cancel here. There we go. If my shield breaks from now on, it doesn't cost me that much time, but it means I need to get 50 more rupees, because I need to, or 30 more rupees, because I need to buy a shield from the sand seal lady so that I can actually ride the sand seals.
And now we get the Stasis Rune, which will let you freeze items in time and space, essentially.
We'll see in this shrine how you use the stasis for puzzles, which is not how we're going to be using it throughout the run. This is just the developer intended way to use stasis. By canceling my stasis on the first object there, it actually reduced the cooldown of my next stasis, which allowed me to stasis that boulder before it blocked my path.
And now with that, we get to the fun part. The run starts picking up a lot in tricks. No more running around.
So the first stasis launch in the run, the one I'm about to do, is actually probably one of the hardest ones to get if you try and go for the fast strat for it, which I'm going to attempt to go for. You're going to see me stasis this boulder and then hit it a bunch of times with my sledgehammer, then place a bomb under it, and then grab onto the boulder and fly it through the air. The reason for the bomb is actually because the last piece of damage to hit a stasis object is how it determines the direction that the object will go flying. So I'm not actually using the bomb to increase the power of the stasis. I'm just using the bomb to angle the boulder to where I want to go, which is right to the Temple of Time. It didn't go in. We're gonna see where we end up. My boulder didn't drop into the bomb slot, so I didn't get to show off the first stasis launch there. Don't worry, there's another 20 or so we're gonna do in the run. So what happened there was actually Link kind of shot the bomb out of his back instead of placing it down in front of him, which can happen if you're not completely still when you place that bomb. And since you're on a time, you're kind of timed there pretty tight because you need to do all the tricks before the stasis runs out. So I didn't let Link completely stop before placing the bomb there.
Some of the loading screens in this game are RNG, and you can lose 10 seconds just to a loading screen. One of the loading screens here is one of the first times you can lose 10 seconds.
Now we're getting the glider.
That was an alright loading screen.
So right after I pick up this bow here, I'm going to jump on my shield, and Link's going to roll around on the ground for a second, and that's to clear the glitch state I was talking about that's caused by doing a shield jump. It allows me to do stasis launches, essentially. The flop. Yeah, all dungeons is all divine beasts, so Rudania, Meadow, Ruta, and Naboris. I actually have the DLC installed, which costs a little bit of time because I have to move this chest out of the way before I can do a stasis launch. Cost me about 1 second. So here is our method for travel in this game. I'll also be making use of opponents 3 times throughout the run because Epona is around the same speed as stasis launching when just on flat ground. But there's around 20 of those stasis launches in the run.
Stasis launches do a lot of damage, so we're grabbing a lot of radishes to heal the damage.
Quick little trick to turn Epona there. You just zoom in with your camera and it sets Epona into the direction that you're facing. Oh, there's plenty more to come, don't worry. I'm actually 1 heart short of healing right now, so I'm gonna pick up an extra radish just to be safe. It's just due to me making some mistakes on the plateau there. So I normally wouldn't pick up that one, but don't want to be too low on health.
One interesting fact about Epona is that her sprints last a little bit longer than normal's horse.
You'll notice I actually launched Epona at the grass there, and it stopped Epona in her tracks. I don't know why that is, but for some reason Epona gets scared when she's about to run over the Hyrule grass there. I also picked up a stamina mushroom, which I'll be cooking later to use for a stamina refill. Saves around 5 seconds. It's quicker for me to just summon another Epona than bring my first one all the way around here. So that's the second of 3rd Epona that I'll be spawning in this run.
There's some spooky skeletons that could spawn there. They'll one-shot you if they hit you with their spear.
Yeah, that's actually pretty important. I'll be running through a field up here where I'm going to be picking up a bunch of radishes, and there can be a bunch of skeletons spawning that entire section. And the most effective way to not get killed by skeletons and make them not spawn actually is just very, very quickly get off your horse, pick up the radish or whatever you're picking up, then get back on your horse, and if you're quick enough, the game won't spawn the spooky skeletons.
There's also a horde of keys that could come attacking you, and if you get stuck in the horde of keys to attack you, you might die. It's a very high chance you die by a horde of keys, aka the bats.
You can do galloping resets, and they do save a little bit of time, but you have to have around 95% consistency to save time, because if you make one mistake with them, that means you have to do a ragdoll later because you'll get put into the glitched state that I mentioned.
This is only with Epona. With the normal horse, they save a little bit more time. But since Epona is really good, they really don't save that much time.
So you're going to see me going right up beside these radishes before I stop with Epona and jump off and pick them up. Well, that was kind of scary. The longer you're off, the more likely the skeletons are to spawn. And last one.
And we're safe now. No more spooky skeletons.
Ooh, there's some keys coming. Cook all the food I picked up here. I'll be using these radishes because they give temporary hearts. And temporary hearts are good because it means I don't have to open my inventory and re-heal after every single stasis launch. Whoops, there. There we go.
They also act as a full heal too. He grabbed some spicy peppers also, and he's going to use those cold res food for the first dungeon.
This guy just gives me 500 rupees, expects me to go give it to some fairy. That's not happening. I need that money, man. And here we go with some stasis launches.
We're going to do about 3 in a row.
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just stole his life savings, yup. He's never gonna know. Let's see what we... Wow, this is awful. I actually need to farm money here.
You can get 1,000 rupees from that rock, or you can get 120 rupees from that rock.
That was really bad. I need to get money quick here. So, 60. Okay, I should be good.
The orange rock sells for 30 each. The Yellowstone sells for 180 rupees.
There's actually a few pieces of gear I need to pick up in the run. I need the, you need to get the Goron, or the Gerudo outfit to make it into the city. And then I need to get the Goron armor to live the fire damage. And then I need to get the Zora armor to actually do the dungeon there. Whoops. 6, 7, 8, 1. Oh my god. I thought I was going to miss that one for sure.
That's pretty close.
My angle's a little bit off. I'm not too upset because at least I got it. Normally I wouldn't have to climb here, but my angle was not quite what I wanted. One more jump should do it. There we go.
All the dungeons have one cutscene where you look at them for a little bit, but you can skip the cutscene. And the first time you trigger one of the Divine Beast cutscenes, Zelda will talk to you.
I'm using a soldier bow right now. It's you get it at the end of plateau, and you also get a free one at this stable I was just at. I grabbed 2 because it just gives me the opportunity to let 1 burn up in Goron City without worrying about it. I'm gonna try to not let that happen just because I get scared if I only have 1. Whoops. I don't know why Link was climbing the wall there. I have more amiibos than anyone should own.
We need a total of 1,800 rupees in this run. We only need a little bit before the first dungeon, and we get the other half of them in before Garuda. Or rather, before the Garuda dungeon.
So next I'm going to go to the shop and buy some, honestly I can't even remember what the mushrooms are. The orange mushrooms that let me live the cold damage.
They're the sun shrooms.
The sun shrooms, that's right. But first I need to sell this stuff that I picked up here. I'm going to buy full arrows here. I go through a lot of arrows doing my stasis launches. 2 of these. I'll mix 2 of these with my 2 spicy mushrooms that I got earlier, and it'll give me a level 2 cold res. Oops. And it'll give me enough time to make it through the dungeon and safely out of the cold area. This angle's not quite right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
The reason we use a tree here is because in some places it's faster to do the no amiibo route because it takes like 8 extra seconds to spawn boxes.
Actually, the reason you don't spawn a box there specifically is if you get to this flight range too quickly, the game can freeze. And I've lost multiple runs to the game just never loading this next cutscene coming up.
Dang.
This right here just got stuck in infinite loads here multiple times.
That too, I guess. There's a very rare glitch here.
I don't need that. What am I doing?
There's a very rare glitch here where if you talk to the bird, he'll instantly kick you out of the minigame for no reason. We have to do a minigame here in order for this guy to fight Meadow with us.
This game gives me 3 minutes to shoot 5 targets. I'm not sure if I'm good enough to do it. I'll try my hardest. It's pretty tough.
It's probably the toughest part of the run, honestly.
I would say so.
Wow. Jesus Christ, you're so good. Oh my god.
Oh, we didn't do it in under 3 seconds. Let him down. The game actually automatically equips these bomb arrows here, so that's a nice little thing. I don't have to go through my menu and equip them, but I do have to equip the bow and eat the cold food there.
The bow he just got, the falcon bow, is slightly different from other bows. It has better range, which means that arrows that he fires won't arc down sooner.
I'm going to take it a little bit slow here because I really don't want to waste my bomb arrows. So I'll probably go about 5 seconds slower than I could, just to make sure I hit these shots here.
Meadow has 4 laser turrets, each takes 2 shots. You can actually get bows in this game that fire more than 1 arrow per shot, but there's none on the way to Meadow, so we have to do 2 shots per bow.
Sadly, I'm not a god sniper like Lollop. If anyone was watching Lollop's run yesterday, he just destroyed these things. Blew my mind. pretty much shot him from the spawn. So as soon as I finish this thing, bringing down this divine beast here, we're gonna go into the first dungeon, Meadow, and whoa, that shot is a little high. No, it's good. We're good. And an interesting thing about Meadow is it's the only divine beast that you can complete without picking up the map. And the main reason for that is all the terminals start essentially straight up, like right up. And in all the other divine beasts, some of them are tilted on their side, and you can't interact with them when they're on their side. But this dungeon, we can. So we skip the map, saves around, I think it's around 10 seconds, maybe 20 seconds.
Getting the map is a very long cutscene, which you'll see in the second dungeon.
This loading screen is awful. There's a few really bad loading screens in this game, and this is one of them. Actually, all the divine beasts have a fairly bad loading screen to get into them.
I think the worst one's after Thunderblight.
Oh yeah, right after Thunderblight's the worst load in the game. I need to remember to take off my bomb arrows right here. Sometimes I forget. There we go. I see a lot of people jump over that sludge right there. I think it's easier to just walk over it. You don't have to waste any stamina while jumping over it. Am I high enough? Yeah, we're good.
You need a lot of arrows in this run, mostly for shooting eyeballs.
I'm a little low. I should be good. I'm actually going to do a little bit of a void warp after this next terminal, and it'll warp me up here. And that's just because the game knows I don't have the map, and without the map, there's actually no way to get out from under here. So the game knows not to put you back down here. You need to get back up. My sledgehammer broke. I forgot about that. What am I doing here? There we go. I am not used to not having my sledgehammer. I'm a little concerned actually for the upcoming Stasis launches. Weapon durability is another important factor in this run. Your healing and your weapon durability are both kind of important if you want to make it through all your Stasis launches. Did that hit the eye?
No.
So, I'm bad at sniping apparently. I am really bad at sniping apparently.
This is where the Falcon Bow range comes in handy. I don't think you can shoot that eyeballs with Soldier Bow.
The most concerning thing about that is actually my Falcon Bow durability is another important factor in this run, so I just wasted 2 shots there, 2 or 3 shots there. I think it should be able to pull through to the end. We'll see in Rudania how my Falcon Bow turns out. You actually can't break that with an axe. See, normally I have my sledgehammer here. You just hit that with a sledgehammer, and you get your arrows. Oops.
Each dungeon only has 5 terminals.
Yeah, so this was the 5th terminal. Now we're off to fight Windblight, who can really troll you sometimes. He'll get his face stuck in the ground and then he'll just teleport up instead of falling victim to my stun lock.
On a small note, it's faster to glide than to run in this game.
I think I'm actually the only runner that starts this fight with ice arrows and then switches to bomb arrows. Everyone else starts with bomb arrows and switches to ice arrows. Okay, so luckily he's playing nice with me right now. So I had to wait for my stamina to refill before doing my second shot with the bomb arrow there, because once I do my second shot, he'll start getting up, and I need full stamina so that I can go slow time and finish him off. Oops. Try and repeat the exact same thing again here. Okay, he's not being mean. Okay, we got this. One more shot. Nice. I'm gonna see a little bit of floating link here when I pick up this heart container. I don't know why this happens or how this happens, but if you spam the A button when finishing the fight there, it'll just float while he picks that up.
We will be abusing slow time in all the boss fights because it makes the bosses do nothing and we just get free damage on them.
Yeah, we decimate the bosses in this run. We use the 3 times bow for the rest of the bosses, bomb arrows, just 3 times damage food. They just get obliterated.
We now get the ability Gale, which we'll be mostly using to abuse all the dungeons.
Yeah, right here, we get Rivali's Gale, it's called, and you can do 3 super jumps, and then it starts a 6-minute cooldown, and that's actually kind of was important in creating this route. Like, at certain times we'll take a path that might seem slower, like going to do the Ruta dungeon before Rudania, and that's because we need to wait for our Gale cooldown, or the Gale cooldown just works out better if we do it that way, and ends up saving time on the travel to Ganon at the end of the game.
And now we have the Great Falcon Bow, which does 3 arrows per shot, which gets amplified a lot by bomb arrows. We'll be mostly abusing it to kill bosses really fast. It also has amazing durability, the last 60 shots.
We actually make use of all the Divine Beast skills. We use Mipha's Grace on Fireblight, just so we can live through the heat damage. We'll just let Link die, Mipha will save us, and we'll just keep going with the fight. We use Urbosa on some Moblins and on Ganon at the end.
There's a real hard no amiibo strat here, which you make a paralysis block under a wooden chest, and then you do it off a wooden chest.
Don't you dare fall, don't you dare fall. Oh my god.
That wooden chest you saw on the right there, that's no amiibo strat, which is the hardest Stasis to jump in the game.
So I call this next part the Gauntlet, because it's just 5 Stasis launches in a row. It's kind of scary. I'm sure we'll make it. I'm sure we'll be fine. There. 3.5 hearts is enough health to live a Stasis launch, no matter how much damage it does. And this will get me 1 more Stasis launch before I eat my big food buff thing. And like I was mentioning before, the healing in this route's a little bit tight, so I want to get as much out of my healing items as I possibly can.
If we do get into trouble, we do have a way to spawn healing items all center.
Hoping my axe doesn't break on this launch. Okay, we're good.
For Stasis launches, you kind of want to jump on the 7th beat, and you'll get it most of the time.
Oops, that is not where my items are. There we go.
You also want to jump towards the arrow and the direction the arrow is going most of the time.
You'll notice before every single stasis launch, I'm actually turning Link away before I start my spin attack. That's because, for some reason, if I face away and then hold toward an object while doing the spin attack with a two-handed weapon, it does double hits, what we call them. Sometimes it'll just hit the object twice per each spin, and sometimes the hit will do 2 times the damage that it would normally do. And it just lets us get the full momentum in the object a lot quicker than normal. And then you'll see I'm hitting the boxes with an arrow, and that's to set the angle that the box launches at. Okay, so we got 3 of them, 2 more to go in this gauntlet. That is gonna fall. What? Oh my! It's okay. We have enough amiibos. We're prepared.
The direction of the arrow also matters a lot because it dictates how high Link goes. The higher Link goes, the more further you can go.
So you might think I can just spawn my next amiibo crates while I wait for this guy to spawn. Well, actually, for some reason he gets scared if I spawn crates, and it ends up being slower. Last stasis launch in this gauntlet here. Was that a sapphire beside me?
I didn't see it.
This is a little bit to the right of where I want it to be.
We had to talk to the guy earlier to get this next person to spawn.
If that was the perfect angle, I would have glided straight to this axe here, because the wind would have pulled me a little bit north or east, I guess, whatever direction it is. But my angle wasn't quite perfect. And here we're done with Naked Link. It is necessary to talk to the guy outside Goron Town. It starts the quest to get the clothes from this NPC up here. I have made the mistake in a run before not talking to that guy. Well, actually, pressing the wrong dialogue option on that guy also doesn't start the quest, and then your run is over. So my money is really, really short right now. I need to pick up as much as I can in the, what's it called? The Yiga Hideout, I guess it's called. So we need to go kill Koga, or I guess not really kill him, push him down a giant pit. He kind of rolls a boulder onto himself. I'm not taking blame for that.
Wow, spoilers. I haven't seen the game before.
And it gives us the Thunder Helm, and then we can go to Naboris.
It's a little bit faster to Gale here, but the main reason we need Gale is because we need to waste 2 Gales before Naboris, the next dungeon.
Yeah, I need to start my Gale cooldown a little bit before I enter the Yiga Hideout to make sure it's up in time for the next dungeon. The Gales save many minutes in the next dungeon.
And now we talk to second best girl.
Whoa, some people might argue Riju's best girl.
I don't know about that, dude. Have you seen Mifa? I won't spoil it for anyone. But Mifa is bae.
Yeah, we actually pick up those bananas and cook them into 3 times damage food, and abuse that on all the bosses for the rest of the game.
Damage food plus 3 times the bow plus bomb arrows equals annihilation.
I actually didn't look at my money count. I need at least 20. I'm thinking I have like 40 or 50. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think you have 73 rupees.
73, even better.
Oh,
78. Whoa.
Bad.
Can't even math. If I spam quick enough, the A button box won't appear here. Let's go. What? I didn't have my shield equipped. I'm sorry. I ruined everything. You need your shield equipped to ride the sand seals, and I don't even remember where I unequipped it, to be honest.
Well, you didn't do shield reset, so I think after plateau, or during plateau. You did it during the fall damage cancel, when you failed the boater.
I haven't equipped it since.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get one more opportunity to skip that A button dialog box when I get on the sand seal next time. Actually, I guess two more opportunities. These boulders come down at predetermined spots, and actually one patch in the game that they had in the past changed how these boulders up here fell, and it kind of threw everyone off. We're just like, what the heck are the boulders doing? Like, this isn't what I remember.
Yep, I died to these boulders twice after the patch.
But now it's set now. Hasn't changed the last few months.
And now he's going to waste his last gale. It's not really waste, but it's like a very minor time save.
I would call it a little safer to do the gale here and avoid some of the Yigas, but I have been sniped at the very top here in the past, so I'm not so sure about that anymore. That guy right there, he is a sniper. I actually used to do another Stasis Launch that saved like maybe 3 seconds, but I decided it's better to just have the health and not get one-shot by these guys.
Because they shoot 2 arrows, they chain stun lock you and kill you.
It's horrible, yeah.
Or if they headshot you, you automatically die.
I'm gonna pick up these 2 extra bananas up here, just because marathon run, I want my healing. I don't think anyone else shoots an arrow there to distract that guy, but I've had my fair share of runs lost to that guy specifically.
If you get spawned in the Yiga hideout, guard spawn, and some of the drawers lock behind you and in front of you. Depending where you get caught, you might have to reset from the last save.
Oh wow, come on, Link. We're gonna cook all these bananas up into nice 3 times food. Thanks, Onik. Tricky jump. We got it.
And this is where we try to get the remaining amount of rupees we need for the run. These 2 chests each give 300 each, which is really nice.
Yeah, I need all this money so I can buy shock arrows and the Goron armor and a few other things like a fire tonic, another seal ride. And there's actually one more piece of food that I want to buy if I get the chance. Oh, that was kind of scary. Whoops.
Right there, he uses the flick on the gyro again to skyrocket metal objects. Because the analog sticks are really slow.
I'm just kind of swinging my arms in the air a little bit, and the boxes go flying up. This costume is required to get into the Gerudo City, so that's why you might see people using it.
I thought you got it because it looks cool.
Yeah, I actually spend 600 rupees and 10 minutes in the run, or whatever, just because it looks cool.
Fashion greater than speed, dude.
Fashion Souls hype. This might actually be the hardest boss. It used to be a joke, you know, die to Koga, but the last boss I died to in a run was Koga, so... Try not to blow myself up with this bomb. Has happened before. I want to break this weapon here. Nice. I didn't get it. What? I'm an idiot. Counting is hard.
There's a lot of different ways to do this fight. You can use melee weapons. You can use some shots on your 3x bow. It's really about preference.
You're gonna see me throw away this sword at the end of the fight, or right before the end of the fight. That's because I want the torch that I pick up to automatically get equipped. And then, some of you might question this, but we use the torch to fight Thunderblight. Might seem like a dumb idea, but it works, I promise. Get a little closer here. Less distance for the magnet orb to travel.
Again, a few frames faster to flick the controller down instead of using the analog sticks. I know this is probably one of the longest cutscenes in the game, or the run.
Actually, the next segment of the run, the part right before Naboris, is the most costly death you can have in the game. So I really hope I don't screw that part up. I'm not even going to say how long it takes if you screw it up. I'm just going to pray it doesn't happen.
Oh, I know about this. You spoiled this earlier, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry, I spoiled the death of Koga.
Wow. I didn't know he died. Maybe he survived down there.
BOTW 2, The Revenge of Koga.
More spoilers, dude. Now we have the Thunder Helm. Riju just wanted the Thunder Helm to show that you're worth fighting in the Boars, and you're not just some scrub. Also, you kind of need it because Naboris does lightning attacks, and She creates a spear that makes you immune to lightning attacks.
I'm sure we could find a way around it if that was the only thing holding us back.
True.
I'm gonna do a quick little shield surf here, save like half a second. Wow, Link was climbing slow there. Normally you can make it up there with just one jump. I got weak Link in this game apparently. Let's sell all the stuff that I stole. Buy these shock arrows. That allows us to skip the section in the Ruta area where you have to go and pick up like 20 shock arrows or whatever. Just skips that whole thing.
And now this is the cooking stream. So 4 bananas yield 3 attack food for 3 minutes approximately.
He was being sarcastic about the spoilers.
How you know if I played this game before?
Okay, so hopefully next time I get on a sand seal, I don't ruin the trick where I spam A and we don't get the little input dialog box. I've got my shield equipped, so I'm not going to screw that part up. Just gotta mash quick enough. It's the hypest part of the run.
The thing about this category compared to any percent Master Sword is that there's a lot of cutscenes. Each area has a handful of cutscenes you have to watch.
My controller's barely functioning, guys, okay? I'll get a new one soon.
Dude, send it off to Nintendo, dude.
Okay, so here we go. Spamming A. Let's hope we don't see the game say press A. The bottom middle there. Oh, we got it.
Frame perfect, dude.
Dude, I think it is frame perfect. That's the reason I run this game. I brought 20 Guardian Amiibos, like 14 Eponas, and like 6 Fish Amiibos. And I only need... I think I need 16 Guardian Amiibos, so I have 4 extra, and I have like 10 extra Eponas. And I shouldn't use any of the Fish Amiibos unless things really go downhill. You're gonna see me equip my bow and bomb arrows on this ladder, just because I'm scared that I might shoot myself with a bomb arrow if I do it while I'm on my seal.
You can actually spawn fish and meat inside the Koga fight and waste almost no time getting them for some free healing. But Spades doesn't have any meat amiibos because I'm too lazy to make them for him.
So I want to kind of one cycle this fight. I've never heard of anyone refer to it as a one cycle, but I'd call it a one cycle. I hide in Riju's little orb of healing or orb of protection for one of Nabora's shots, and then break the 4 legs before he gets another shot off. I think I have full health, so even if I screw it up, I have 1-shot protection. So it'll just waste a little bit of time, but it won't completely destroy my run. If I don't have full health, we're just screwed.
You'll also notice that for each generator on the Nabora's leg...
Oh, I wasn't quick enough on the A spam. Sorry, guys.
For each arrow on the Nabora's legs, he's only going to use one arrow because the 3 times bow shoots 3 arrows per shot.
So this is a good indicator that my run isn't completely horrible. If you're really slow, you'll be taking cold damage during this fight, and the current route actually just can't deal with that. Like, if I'm that slow, I don't even know what I would do. I'd probably just spawn a bunch of fish and heal through it. I just kind of planned to never be that slow. It's because once it gets past, like, I think 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in game time, you start taking cold damage here. See how my snipes are. That was not a snipe. That was definitely not a snipe. Put your foot down. Wait, we're good. Okay, that was an extra shot. That was pretty slow. But we didn't die. How many hours of BOTW have I played?
Too many.
I don't want to answer that question. Next. No comment.
You gotta be careful with bomb arrows. If you shoot an object right in front of Link, you will blow yourself up and game over. I saw a streamer actually blow up a cactus during that fight. His name is Spades, and dying there is the worst spot to die. You lose 4 minutes if you die there.
I probably spent more time in the air from Stasis launches than most people have played this game.
Dying during that pre-fight is definitely the most time loss you can do in this run. The second would be dying on the Meadow pre-fight. And that's mainly because the autosave feature sucks in this game.
This dungeon is actually pretty interesting in the speedrun. We're going to use lightning arrows to kind of cheat our way through all the puzzles in it. Instead of having to collect those magnetic orbs and using them to hit or trigger the switches, we can just shoot them with electric arrows, and that does the trick for us. Oops, there we go.
We should also mention, the reason we bought so many electric arrows is because we need 20 of them to fight Ruta, the elephant dungeon in this game. So the fastest way to do that is just to buy them in Garuda.
I guess we haven't really mentioned yet, but the overall route of the game, the reason we do Rito first is to get the money from Torin, the 500 rupees there, the 3 times bow, and Rivali's Gale. And then the reason we come here second is mostly because of the damage food, which lets us just obliterate the bosses. And then the reason we go to Goron before Ruta, or before the Zora area, is just how the Gale cooldown works out. It's quicker to do to go there first and then head to Ruta.
So the main mechanic of this dungeon and why you need a map is to rotate these plates. Inside this first plate there's the terminal, but because it's tilted you can't activate it, so he has to wait for the wheel to be fully up for him to activate the terminal. And that's why we grab the map in this dungeon. Like Spades said earlier, if terminals are tilted too much, you can't activate them.
This whole dungeon, I'm going to be lining up a cycle at the very end where the path just happens to be open for me. So you're going to see me opening the map and toggling where some of the parts of the camel are, and that's just to line everything up correctly for the end so that I can get back in after I hit the last terminal. So right after I do this scale here, I'm going to open the map and move this thing twice. You're going to see me do that again a little bit later. Wow, I don't even know. My hand kind of twitched, and I'm playing with gyro controls. Let's hope that doesn't happen when I'm using the flying machine.
So normally for this puzzle you need 2 electric balls, but you can actually skip it with a gale by going over the gate.
Yeah, we just skipped all the puzzles in this dungeon by using electric arrows and Gale. Whoops, that is not good. Okay, we are safe. If that thing on my behind me right there would have turned accidentally, that would have cost me quite a bit of time, but it didn't. I don't think it did, at least. So, there's the second one. Switch my bow. And shout outs to SVA for coming up with this 6 strat coming up. Let's hope I don't screw it up. It looks pretty awesome if you can get it. Shoot this guy right here. Should be able to get it. And you see this door that's open right here. This was what I've been controlling for the dungeon. I need to line this up so it's open at the end. That's why I was toggling the map. And also just to get some electricity to power that neck there.
And now we'll see the power of the 3x bow, bomb arrows, and damage food.
I'm gonna fight Thunderblight with a torch and some bomb arrows. Oh, we got a fast cycle here.
Only 3 arrows. So we use the torch there to break the Thunderblight shield and knock him down. And then we go into slow time and bombard him with bomb arrows.
German saves about 20 seconds.
And because we have the 3x bow and the 3x damage, it only takes 3 shots to kill him.
Oh, he got close spawn. No, run away! Oh my god. Did I miss? Oh no, we got him. Where is he?
Again, only 3 shots. If you're too close to him, you might accidentally blow yourself up and game over.
Yeah, I've definitely killed myself with bomb arrows there.
When fighting Blights in general, you want to aim for the face, but with Thunderblight, he's so small that you can't reliably hit his face. But if you do hit his face with like some glitchy arrows, you can one-shot him, bring him down to 30% HP with 1 arrow.
And we're back to stasis launches. Well, at least 1 for now. The biggest somewhat recent route change the run went through was we figured out you can go to Goron without getting a fire tonic first, and we just kind of live through the heat damage and then buy the armor in the city instead of going down to a foothill stable and picking up a tonic before traveling up to the city. And overall, it saves actually a couple of minutes. And we actually thought it was only possible in the amiibo route at first, because as you'll see coming up, I'm going to do a stasis launch into the city, which lets me travel through the heat damage quick enough. But SVA came up with a no amiibo route that uses the flying machine to get into the city and buy the armor before you die. So now both routes are back doing kind of the same overall route of the game, both amiibo and no amiibo.
We grabbed this shrine earlier in the run. If we're grabbing shrines, we just need to hit the terminal, and this lets us teleport to the shrine. It's faster to grab the shrine because we need to teleport it to it twice in the run. Once here and once after the last dungeon.
I don't think I equipped my axe. Yeah, there we go. I was not getting double hits. 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my god, I was really scared for that one.
That teal bubble scene you saw was Urbosa's fairy. Fairy? Yeah. We got it after the last dungeon. It's basically a huge AoE stun. We used it a little bit during the run to stun enemies.
I've never been targeted by that Guardian before. It's okay, we're fine. Oh, don't worry. We're going to see Flying Machine in this route. It's just in a different place. Or I guess there's just a little bit less of it. Which version of the game? This is the Switch version of the game.
Also, you can only spawn Epona in grassy areas, I think, and Hyrule Field. But sometimes when you try to spawn her, the game just like glitches out and spawns like fruit. If you picked a bad spot to spawn her in.
The language is German because the voice actress speaks the quickest in German. There's a Guardian coming up on the right up here, and only once has he ever sniped me, and it did all my temporary hearts. It left me with like one normal heart, so I'm really hoping that he doesn't have an op today. Okay, we should be safe. I'm using the Switch Pro controller. Indeed. So I'm on my way to Goron City now. I'm gonna Stasis Launch into the city and buy that armor, and then gotta save the most annoying character in the game, Yunobo. If someone ever finds a route through this game where you don't have to interact with Yunobo, it'll probably be the happiest day of my life. It's just... For one, he's part of the escort, which is probably the hardest part of the run. It's just... It has an annoying voice actor in German as well.
He has a really good English voice actor, though.
So the next Stasis Launch, the one to get into Goron City, is the most important Stasis Launch to get correct in the run, I would say. If I screw up the angle too much, I'm just gonna burn to death, and won't get my armor there. And if I don't have enough hearts, I'm gonna have to spawn fish, which just take a bunch of extra time. Every single fish has a new text dialogue box I have to deal with. It just really kills your time when that happens. So I need to get it right. Oh, come on. Are you serious right now? The one important, really important one. Okay. That's a little bit far right, and I already took health damage. This is really scary. I'm gonna fall a little early and trigger the cutscene. So this cutscene stops my burning, and gives me a little bit more time to get to the armor. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to spawn fish just because of that bad angle there.
You'll see his bow burning, and bows have a burn duration of 30 seconds. But if you unequipped it, it resets the timer.
Oh, my bow's gone. I have another one that I have a backup bow. My shield's gone too, probably. Yep.
Oh, that's right. Don't they burn during the cutscenes?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. So if you do forget to unequip your stuff, we usually grab backup stuff, just in case they burn.
I'm gonna buy a fire tonic from this kid here, and I just use it to save Yunobo the first time. I'm actually gonna buy out all this guy's food, and just in hopes that I don't have to spawn fish. Oops. Stop talking to me, dude. Normally I wouldn't have to pick up that food, but like I said, that Stasis Launch was pretty bad. I took a lot of heat damage, and I really need my health to do my remaining Stasis Launches.
He's now going to do Stasis Launches to rescue Yunobo and come back. The no amoeba route here would use pots instead of crates. But these pots are really finicky. So it's much preferred to use crates. You can also get way better angle and height.
I'm falling apart here. So I'm probably gonna have to spawn fish now. Oh well. This axe needs to make it through one more, please. That's the food that I bought. Oop. Let's eat this. See if I can get the snipe here with this cannon. Please. Okay, good. So I should be good on weapon durability now, since I can pick up the 2 weapons in this next room. I was a little scared that this axe was gonna break before I made it in there.
All those Stasis launches in the Goron area require a lot of micromanaging, because every time you do it, you have to equip the bow and unequip it during the launch.
Yeah, these are definitely the most trying Stasis launches in the run. Almost forgot to switch my weapon.
Ooh, half a heart.
It's completely planned. Don't worry. I
We
promise.
We should mention that even if a lot of stuff in this game can one-shot you, but there's one-shot protection, which way if you're full HP, but something hits you for more HP than you have, you'll be brought down to half a heart.
So I need to do 2 more Stasis launches with the health that I have, which is half a heart, and sadly that's not going to work out, so I need to spawn some fish here. In a perfect world, in a perfect run, you can make it through this route without spawning any extra healing items, but missing those 2 Stasis launches means I'm going to have to make up for it with these fish. I'm hoping these falling boulders don't land on my head while I'm spawning fish here. Oof. Oh, they're not even going to fall. Perfect.
You gotta be careful too, that chest, it can bonk you in the head and kill you.
next trick we're going to see after these stasis launches, flying machine, which is, I guess, a crowd favorite.
Indeed, a crowd favorite.
That was good height, actually. I pick up this shrine, and then I teleport back here later and do the Rudania dungeon. The reason I don't just do it now is just because of how the Gales work out in the rest of the run. Like, I want to be heading to Ganon while having 2 Gales, and if I was to do this dungeon now, it means I'd have to do Ruda last, and I want to use all my Gales in Ruda, so it just doesn't work out right.
We grab that shrine here to teleport after Ruda, because we have to escort Ubonta, who's right above it. Now we get to craft the flying machine.
What could he want with a minecart? These things are useless. I've played this game. I know they don't do anything. Don't worry, I'm not crazy. I'm just talking to myself.
I mean, I'm here.
Line that up right. Don't want shenanigans happening. That is not right. Minecart, please. That looks a little better. This looks like an airplane that you'd fly.
Wow, dude, how do magnets work?
So we're just gonna soar through the air. This makes perfect sense.
So it's interesting to note that he's using gyro controls right now. So if he moves his hand any slight, he might fail and the car will explode and fall down.
Yeah, don't make me laugh right now. The reason this works is because, so if you try and magnet an object that you're standing on, the magnet just cancels. You can't actually do that. You can't just lift an object and fly through the air normally. But what we do here is stack 2 minecarts and then magnet the bottom one, and it kind of tricks the game into letting us fly through the air.
If someone donates $1,000 right now, I'll punch Spades if I can, which will fail the trick. $1,000 to charity, guys. Here's a good goal.
Wow. I've actually never had buffering there before. I don't know what that was. Maybe I'm going extra fast today. Extra speedy.
Oh yeah, we never explained that. So if you go really fast, usually if you stasis jump, the game will buffer for like 2 seconds. You'll see like clouds and stuff keep moving, but Link will freeze in midair.
I don't know if you can do this with all objects, but it is possible to use a magnetic crate and a minecart.
So he's pretty much in the safe now. It's just a little bit fast to keep it going.
Whoa, don't hit me. You can travel as far as you want. If you go up too high, there's like an invisible wall or something, and you just your thing just breaks. Also, we went too fast, the textures didn't quite load.
You talk to him.
No, you can't interact. I need to just wait for the cutscene to start. It takes a few seconds here. There we go.
I think you did skip a cutscene though.
No, that's what happens.
This is like the second longest cutscene part in the game. You're gonna be talking to him a lot.
Yeah, this is the most annoying text spamming part in the run, because it's just like 5 minutes straight of mashing. And as you guys have heard throughout the run, my finger's probably getting kind of sore. I've been mashing quite a bit.
This would be a good time for donations if there is any. The texture is still bugged too sometimes in the cutscene. You see part of the floor missing.
So now we get our Zora Armor, which lets us ride waterfalls. That gets, I guess, 2 uses in the run. It's most useful for getting up to the Ganon fight, but we also use it to save about a second just traveling toward Sidon.
When you get chest armors in this game, you have the option to go to your menu, and it's faster to equip it right away because it auto targets the new chest you just got.
There's actually a second type of Stasis Launch that, sadly, I missed the first one on Plateau, so I didn't get to show it off, but it's where you just grab onto an object and ride it up instead of getting hit by it, and I get to do it once more in the run coming up, so I get to show that off, hopefully. If I still have a weapon that can cut down a tree. My durability's been a little sketchy this run. Earlier in the run, when I first got onto Epona, you noticed me picking up a mushroom and some grass, and I mentioned this is stamina mushroom. I'm gonna get some time saved from it later in the run. Well, the time is coming up where I save the time spent picking up that mushroom. It allows me to do the next fight, the fight where you shoot the 4 glowy things on the elephant. It allows me to do that by only going into the air once. Using that stamina food, I'll be able to get 4 shots in slow time without my stamina running out. And it saves, overall, it's like 5 seconds. But it looks cool, so it's definitely worth it. Just get rid of Muzu from the game, get rid of Yunobo from the game. We'll get the sub 2 hour run, and all will be good in the world.
But don't get rid of Sidon, he can stay.
No, we can't get rid of Sidon.
You get rid of the Stingray though, that's why you have to mash so much here.
Yeah, he's awful.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what do I got? We got an axe. Do some chopping with that. When did I do my equips?
Another name for this next trick is called Tree Rocket.
Yeah, that's the correct term, I guess, nowadays, is the rocket trees.
You actually discovered this one.
No, I didn't. No.
Not the trick, but the specific tree.
Oh, yeah, this tree. That saves about around 15 seconds instead of just running all the way up that giant staircase. It's also around 2 seconds faster than just using a gale up there. But we don't want to waste a gale there anyway.
Yeah, we need 3 gills for the next dungeon. to make it go really fast.
The dungeon route we do in this next dungeon is actually really neat. Shoutouts to, I think it was Demon 9 that came up with this route. We thought we had a pretty good route, but he kind of shattered it.
So the one cycle here, he basically doesn't want to fall into the water. He wants to hit all the generators in there.
Yeah, my goal here, just fly up once. I've heard a lot of people say they didn't realize you can use Cryonis to break these ice blocks, and they just used arrows. But it's much easier if you just use your Cryonis. I dropped a little bit there, a little bit more than I wanted to. I should still be good. So I'm going to eat that stamina food, and it actually will refill my stamina and give me a temporary boost. I missed. Am I a sniper? Am I a sniper? No, I'm not. No! So that is definitely not what you ever want to happen. This is the exact same thing that happened in my PB.
You especially don't want to hit 3, because by hitting 3 and not the 4th one, you make him spawn 10 ice objects who follow you around, instead of 5.
So instead of saving 5 seconds, I lost like 40. Actually, that's probably more than 40.
There's some invisible walls around here that push you down if you get too low. And that's to try and stop you from one cycling normally.
So what happened there was my first, or I guess my third arrow, I accidentally shot it on top of the generator. And then I was too low to adjust correctly. So you know how I was mentioning my Falcon Bow durability earlier in the run, and how I was scared for it? Well, now I'm 2 shots lower than where I was when I was already scared, so let's just pray. I'll try and save as much durability with it as I can in the Rudania dungeon. There's, I think, 2 shots that I can switch my bow for, so should help, should make it possible.
I think you have enough extra on your Great Falcon Bow too to use that.
Great Falcon Bow, doesn't it shoot at kind of weird angles though? You can't really use it, at least for the specific shot that I'm thinking of.
You can't use it for that specific shot, but for the torches it might be decent. The timing on this route is sort of strict. It's not that strict, but
yeah, you have about 3 seconds of lenience before you start losing time, and then you have probably around 10 seconds of lenience before you just miss the cycle completely. The current world record is faster than what this run is going to be. That's all you need to know. So here I just kind of wag my arms or swing my arms, and through the use of gyro, it spins that thing really quickly. So I'm timed on this cycle here.
if he shoots eyeballs in any of the dungeons, it's usually because it's blocking something and he has to shoot it. He skips pretty much all the optional eyeballs to shoot. And the main mechanic of this dungeon is the trunk. You control the angle of the trunk to spray water throughout the dungeon, which does a lot to the water wheels in the dungeon.
This is a not quite good positioning. Okay, so there's my my few seconds of lenience. I'm really hoping I can still make this cycle.
A small trick he did there was he got stuck on the lip of the edge, and what it did is that it stored some momentum, so when he went away from the edge, it shot him further up. And now he's moving the trunk here because he needs to put out some fire.
I'm going to do a little bit of a safety strat here to ensure that I make the cycle. It shouldn't cost me any time. So
He's moving the trunk here because he needs his water wheel, this big one, to move, so that terminal is not tilted too much. If he's too slow here, there's a little gate that will close behind him.
yeah, so I made it into this little slot here right before the gate closed behind me, and you can't interact with the terminal until the gate closes. Oops. So here's the little safety thing I'm going to do. I'm going to put that ice there. Oh, I am way ahead of the cycle. I did not realize how fast I was actually going, apparently. Wow.
So this is the main time loss of this dungeon. If you're too late here, you have to wait for this whole wheel to spin around.
Oops. Okay.
And now water blight.
What am I doing? Water blight.
So he's gonna make an ice pillar here. Never mind. Yeah, he is. So that he can jump off and trigger slow time.
Yeah, trigger slow time here. Hopefully his face is showing. Yeah.
His face will usually face you.
This fight is completely deterministic unless he spawns on top of me in the next section. In which case, I don't even know. We'll just YOLO. That's when we just reset. At least no marathon luck. Come on, game. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, I don't want to blow myself up here. Oh, nice. Yeah, I thought something bad would happen. Where is his body now? What?
On the ceiling.
So yeah, this is all because he spawned in the one spot I didn't want him to spawn. So much for obliterating the bosses with the 3x bow and bomb arrows.
You obliterate his Thunderblight though, and he's
Yeah.
the actual hardest one if you don't obliterate him. Thunderblight can, if Thunderblight hits you with electricity, your weapons go flying, and he can combo kill you.
We're not going to be killing Fireblight with a torch. I'm not sure it's even possible. Someone get on it. The hearts do not completely disappear. You can teleport back to the dungeon, and it doesn't place you in the dungeon, but it places you like on top of the dead divine beast or whatever. Oops. And then you can pick up the heart container there.
We just got Mipha's Grace. It's basically, if you were to die, it heals you to full, gives you 4 extra hearts, and it's a 30-minute cooldown.
Yeah, we abused the Mipha's Grace on Fireblight to just be able to stand in the fire damage. Because normally on Fireblight you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice between your damage buff or your fire tonic, because the buffs in this game don't stack. So what we do is we ignore the fire tonic and let Mifa save us. And then use the damage buff, because we need to go fast. Okay, so next up is without a doubt the scariest part of the run, the escort mission. I'm going to be trying to do a bunch of tricks to make it go quicker, but they're all super sketchy.
We just used your pulses here to clear these two really fast. They have a lot of HP. And we don't really need your Bolsa until the final dungeon. Or I guess the final boss.
Yeah, we have that extra Urbosa's Fury to use, and like if I start the cooldown now, it will just be up in time for the fight with Ganon.
Wow, spoilers again.
Kind of interesting thing to note is during the next section, I can't whistle sprint because whistling causes Yunobo to stop running. It's just kind of a mechanic of the area. So the quickest way to move without whistle sprinting is actually spamming the A button like this, or I guess the B button, the run button. And starting after the next cutscene is when I can't whistle sprint.
It's also interesting to note that there's a very rare chance that Yubana will just like walk into the lava and despawn for like a full minute. It's very rare though. I haven't seen it happen ever to me or Spades.
I've had Yunobo do some wonky things. He likes lights. He's kind of like a moth, and it makes it difficult because this whole section's about going around the spotlights. Yeah, this is without a doubt my scariest thing in the run.
There's a few ways to get past searchlights during this escort. You could use normal bombs twice. You could use 2 Urbosa's Fury. You could just dodge them, or you can hit them with like mailboxes and boaters.
Or you can try and sneak around them. So I'm gonna, on this boulder coming up, I'm gonna attempt to use stasis on it to launch it into one of the spotlights, and that's actually fairly important. It sets up the entire cycle for the next section. If I don't get this stasis launch coming up, it's gonna waste probably around 20 seconds, and it's pretty precise. I have a little bit of a setup, but it's not perfectly consistent. My angle looks decent. Come on. Okay, we got it. So I stasis that boulder, hit it a few times, and then shot it at one of the spotlights, and it just kind of decimated that spotlight and let us run by.
The only nice thing about this escort is that it gives you enough time for your gills to come off cooldown.
So you'll see on this next section, I'm going to cut it fairly close to one of the spotlights. Yunobo's going to almost get touched by it, and that's because the reason I'm able to get by it is because I killed that first spotlight. It sets up the opening. Or I guess it technically killed the second spotlight. Come on, Yunobo. If I'm not as fast as I think I am, then he's just gonna get caught and I'm gonna die. But, you know what, I have faith. That seems pretty good. Oh wow, I have lots of time. Lots of time. And this right here, this next spotlight is the scariest part of the entire run. Come on, Unobo. Don't be an idiot. Oh, we did it. Okay.
And he gets it. Nice.
We're alive.
You can lose a lot of time you get caught here. The searchlights can just keep on chaining and chaining. And you can also die and lose Mipha's Grace, which is really important for the boss fight.
That did not kill him. I missed one of the headshots there. My arrow count is getting kind of scary low. It's okay, we're prepared for this.
Ibano walks a lot slower than Link, so you usually have to wait for him before you try and sneak past the streetlights.
This next section is the easiest section of the escort. Although since I did that last part a little bit slow, I'm not sure how the cycle's gonna line up. The only reason I can backflip into slow time is because I'm on a slanted hill there. Normally you can't do it on flat ground.
On a side note, headshots with a bow does more damage, so you usually want to headshot every enemy if you need to kill them with a bow.
I should be fine to go right now. Like I was saying, I was a little slow, so I mean I'm scared. Unobo run, Unobo run, Unobo run, Unobo run. Okay, we're good. I don't have Stasis Plus, so I can't use Stasis on objects. I've actually never even seen that done. I don't really play on my main file too much, but that's cool if it works. But you'd need to get the Stasis upgrade. Or, I mean, I can't use Stasis on enemies, sorry. And another way to get rid of these spotlights is with these metal boxes, I guess the intended way. When I casually played this, I used bombs.
He's also gonna use this metal box to kill the two enemies up ahead, because it's faster than a bow.